Good morning, everyone. How are you this beautiful day, the beautiful day that the Lord has made? I'm Carin J. Casey on the podcast Turn to God with Carin. And every Monday we have episodes of Hope and Faith Journey. And in that, we are talking about, we're looking for encouragement through our struggles, through our challenges that we face. And we have hope for healing. We always know that we can turn to God about anything. He is our refuge in times of trouble. So I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but all of my books also support this same platform to turn to God as we face our challenges. This month, we'll be talking about topics that were presented within my most recent book, She Stands. It's a suspenseful Christian mystery fiction, of course. Within the pages, the main character is presented with many conflicts that we find in the world today. In past weeks, we talked about the predator and advocates, and this week we're going to talk about casting your cares. Cast your cares. And the definition of that might be, in other words, give your problems to God. Let them go. So in the storyline of the book, the main character gets in a situation with another person, and it's a people problem, which a lot of times it is people problems that we face. And this person was saying things that she didn't believe. She didn't want rumors to be spread. She felt like it was gossip, and she got upset. And so she spouted off to this girl, and they, had a few words among each other. And then she decided to go to someone else to help with that situation. Well, who should have she gone to? She could have cast her cares on the Lord, and then it would have been handled perfectly. But she didn't do that, and she was in for a surprise as to the way the story came down. Well, in my testimony, I have lots of heartbreak over loss of loved ones due to people problems or because of death. And the loss is there regardless of how it happened. And I would whine and complain and carry on with other people, but they were not able to actually help me. And then I finally started saying, I cast my cares, Lord. I cast my cares. How do I do that? And I pictured myself taking those problems and throwing them over a spiritual wall. And once they're over the wall, I can't see them. And I'm giving them to the Lord. Well, is He able to handle this problem and that problem and the other problem? He's able to handle any of the problems. So I can't see them anymore. They're over the wall, and God has got that. He's taking care of that situation. He's taking care of those problems. He's taking care of those losses. He's mending my heart. What people might say about me after that, it's none of my business. It's in God's court, not mine. So I learned a lot from that. And especially when we're dealing with people problems, we are tempted to give the situation an immediate knee-jerk reaction and participate in the ugliness or run to someone else. We're so shocked and upset over the offense or the hardship before us that we run to one person after another, whining, complaining, and asking for help. We want empathy. We want someone to be on our side. We don't want them to believe the lies of another person, so we're quick to defend ourselves. But what's wrong with all that? When we turn to anyone other than God, we've elected to give up the perfect help, the perfect solution in that situation. And, we are reminded the Israelites were blessed by God. They should have known that God could help them with anything. But what did they do? They whined and complained And that was not appreciated. That was not looked on well. So before we get further, I want to read some scriptures about casting your cares. Psalm 55:22 is a very good one. And I'm looking at the New Living Translation. Psalm 55:22. Give your burdens to the Lord, and He will take care of you. He will not permit the godly to slip and fall. Give them to God, and He will handle them in the most perfect way, perfect time. Another one is 1 Peter 5, and I'm going to look at verses 5 through 9. God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. I just want to stop at that moment. The proud would be quick to take up for themselves. The proud would be quick to tell others about someone's failing. So God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. So humble yourselves under the mighty power of God, and at the right time, He will lift you up in honor. Give all your worries and cares to God, for He cares about you. Stay alert. Watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Stand firm against him and be strong in your faith. Remember that your family of believers all over the world is going through the same kind of suffering that you are. That always gives me solace, knowing there's nothing unique about the situations I face. Other people face them too. I can stand firm in my faith and give it to God, knowing that He is stronger than the devil. Okay, let's look at Isaiah 41 before I get to talking too much and forget to turn to it. Isaiah 41 verse 10. Now, a lot of our problems that we need to cast on the Lord involve fear. Fear of what people will think about us. Fear of what's going to happen. Fear of our suffering. Fear of injury, harm. So this is addressing that specifically. Isaiah 41:10. Don't be afraid. This is from God. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right arm. Oh, wow. I love that. So, your past history of God's loving deliverance is precious. In fact, it's like gold. Because, for instance, remember David when he was able to kill Goliath? What made him think that he could kill Goliath? Here he was, a little shepherd boy. That's because time and time again, God had rescued him, delivered him from the paw of the lion, from the paw of the bear, when he was watching over his flock. So he knew, God has helped me in this situation. He has helped me in that situation. God will be with me when I am facing Goliath. And that's what we need to do. We need to always remember the times in the past when God has been there for us, because that will strengthen our belief He will be with us, for us again. As the Lord rescued you from a terrible situation, then know with certainty that He will help you again and again. I encourage you now, when you feel troubles are overwhelming you, cast your cares on the Lord. Throw it over the wall so you cannot see it any longer. And just let God fight your battle for you. Lean on Him and He will shelter you under His wings. Well, I want to thank you for joining me in this episode of Turn to God with Carin. This is Carin Jane Casey, author, speaker, podcaster, domestic violence victim advocate, and ambassador for Christ. Stay tuned for Turn to God with Carin every Monday morning at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Hope and Faith Journey. And then Wednesdays we have Sword of the Spirit. I invite you to share your comments, your suggestions, any feedback you have. You can do that through my website, CarinJaneCasey.com. faithinhim.com. I have a comment section, contact page. Then you can go and you can also see, peruse resource material relating to domestic violence, and also all my books and blogs and podcasts are right there for you to check on. So I just want to say, if you've enjoyed any of my books or any of my podcasts, if they've evoked positive change for you in any way, let me know about it. Thank you, and God bless.